Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Healthy You, a weekly program that I talk about little things we can put in place in our lives that will help us to evolve um, as the healthy earth, the one that we can live well in every area of our lives, not just physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, an holistic approach, which is really what I'm passionate about. So once again, welcome to this short discourse this afternoon. And this afternoon, I'll be talking briefly about your choice, your health. Last week, I left off by saying that one of the ways we can, review our commitment to our health is to be able to answer the question, why am I here? What questions am I here to answer? What solution am I here on earth to give? Everybody here on earth has been sent here on a mission. We are all here to answer to something, and there's a need for individual to be able to, get the right answer to their why. And once you understand your why, it will help you in so many ways to be able to know what to say no to and what to say yes to. And that's what I'm here to share with us briefly this afternoon. I know that we all have things that we are passionate about. We all have things that interest us. We all have things that we do easily without anyone pressurizing us to do it. But what about the ones that we have to do and it to take much more effort? So that's why I just want to talk briefly about our choices, your choice. You see, many things shapes our health. Your genes, some things that are outside of our control. But to a larger extent, the choices we make influence our health. The choices we make about food and exercise influence our physical health. The choices we make about our reaction to life situation and circumstances affect our psychological well-being. And also the choices we make about our spiritual life affect our spiritual destiny. And the choices we make about our self-development affect how far we go in life. So you see that our choices affect every area of our life. I like a quotation by John Maxwell that actually says, life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. So the question I'm asking this afternoon, what choices are you making? I like a phrase from the greatest book on earth, the Bible. It says, this day I call the heaven and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live. You can see the power of choice playing out before us. We have choices, we have ability to say no to some things, and we have ability to say yes to some things. Even when you choose not to make a decision that everybody can see, you have also made a decision. So whether you're living a healthy life or not is by choice. Is by choice. The things you do, whether you want to put in place habits that will help you, is by choice. And we are all responsible for the choices we make. Is the one thing I've learned in life is that we have control over the choices we make, but most of the time we do not have control over the consequences of those choices. So the question is, the choices that you are making today about your spiritual destiny, will you be able to accept the consequences that will play out? The choices you are making today about your physical well-being, when the consequences begins to play out, will you be able to accept it? The choices you are making today about your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, when the consequences begin to play out, will you be able to accept it? So I just want to remind us, 3 things I would like to mention this afternoon that we need to look at when we're about to make choices. And in this context, I'm talking about our health. And when I mention health, I'm talking about holistic health. Holistic health that covers your spirit, your soul, and your body. There's no point having a good body shape and you eat well and your mind, you're sick. You have a lot of filthy stuff that are going on in your mind. You have low self-esteem. You are struggling with rejection. You are suicidal. You are struggling with, inferiority complex. I mean, that does not depict an holistic life of health and wellness. So when I talk about health, in my own context, I'm talking about holistic one that covers every area of our lives. And 3 things I would like to just quickly mention that will help us to give attention when we are about to make choices. The first one is anytime you want to make a decision, just stop and think about it. You want to make a decision whether you will exercise or not. Stop and think about it. Okay, I don't want to exercise. The question is, are you ready to accept and live with the consequences of lack of physical activity? Because the truth of the matter is that according to World Health Organization, the effect of physical inactivity is one of the leading causes of global death. Lack of physical activity predisposes our body to all kinds of, avoidable ailment. So when you choose to live a sedentary life, stop and think, are you ready to accept the consequences of living a sedentary life when it begins to play out in your body? When you want to eat and you feel, oh, I can eat whatever I like, I like this, I want to take it, pause, stop and think about it. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, am I willing to accept the consequences of my unhealthy eating habit? Because everything we do is by seed time and harvest. And so choices that we make today, we will face the consequences of it tomorrow. So the choices you are making about your physical health today, about your emotional health, if you know you have issues emotionally and you don't give attention to it, maybe you have issues with depression, you neglect it. You have issues with low self-esteem, you neglect it. You have issues with negative attitude, you neglect it. You have issues with the way you handle life challenges, you neglect it. And you keep making choices that are affecting your mental health negatively. The question is 5 years from now, 4 years from now, 1 year, even 1 week from today, will you be willing to accept the consequences of those choices? What about your eternal state? What about the state of your heart, your relationship with your maker? When the consequences begin to play out, will you be willing to accept when the consequences of your choices begin to play out, will you be willing to accept it and face it? So in order to start making better choices, I think the first thing we need to do is stop and think. The decision I'm about to take now, 30 minutes a day, it won't take you much. I'm not ready to do that. Okay, you are free to decide what you want with your body. It is your body. But remember, the consequences will come. So the first one is stop and think. The second one is number 2, these choices I'm making today, will it help me to achieve my purpose? Will it create enabling environment for me to function to my optimal level? I don't know what your drive is. I don't know what drives you. I don't know what motivates you when you wake up in the morning. But the choices you are making about your health today, will it help you to achieve your purpose? Will it help you to achieve your aim? Will it push you in the direction of your destiny here on earth? Will it help you? Will it give you an enabling environment to be able to function well? So, two things I've said. The first one, stop and think and ask yourself, will I be willing to accept the consequences of the choices I'm making today when it begins to play out tomorrow? The second one, the choices I'm making today, with the consequences, the output of it, will it help me to fulfill my destiny? And the third one is to compare the choices you are about to make today with the result of the choices you have made in time past. If in time past you have always subjected your body, I always starting with the body because everybody can easily relate with that. If you have subjected yourself to all kinds of stress and you are broken down and your blood pressure has gone up and now you are on blood pressure medication, if you start making unhealthy choices about your sugar intake, sugary things, and you have been warned over and over again that it will predispose you to diabetes, okay. Now, compare the choices you are making today with the consequences of the choices you have made yesterday that you are now living with. Will it help you? Is it telling you to go ahead and make those choices now, or you need to retrace your steps? So it's just to remind us that when we talk about health, it's not only about exercising, eating. It's an holistic thing. It plays out in every area of our life, and it boils down to our ability to make choices. In closing, I would like to read again what I started with. John Maxwell, I love that quotation so much. It says, life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. So the choices you are making today, they will make you tomorrow. Are you ready to live with the consequences? The last one, the greatest book on earth. It says, this day I call the heaven and earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live. I like finishing by pointing to us, no matter how much we love ourselves, we try within our ability to look after ourselves. There is a God that loves us so much and He cares about us, and He's telling us here, He wants us to choose life. He wants us, because that means He wants us well. He wants us to make choices that will help us to live well. So if you are struggling in any area, ask Him to help you and to start helping you to make better choices. But remember, your choice today will affect the state of your health tomorrow. I hope you have learned something today. Hope to come your way next week, and bye for now.